Okay, here we go. This is the protagonist. Back for the weekly Fox matchup analysis. And tonight I'm going to be doing two separate matches. Both of them Fox versus Falcon. The first one is going to be Taimai versus Duck, done on Japanese version. For those of you who don't know, there are some slight differences between the Japanese version and the English version of Super Smash Bros. However, those differences are mostly minute. There aren't too awful many of them. They're generally overblown. The second match is going to be on English version. It's going to be from Boss Battle 3. It's going to be TheZ versus Loto. Now, all the players here are really, really good. However, you might be tempted to think that TheZ is a way better player than Loto, but that's going to be a way more interesting match than you might think. And we'll see that here in a second. For Taimai versus Duck, I would tend to say that Taimai is a little bit better than Duck is. Taimai is a really well-respected Fox player out in Japan. Very, very good. Maybe second only to, I don't know, Masaru? Either way, it's going to be a really fun match. If you don't know already, the Japanese version of the game in tournament is played with one game in a set, not best of three. So this is going to be a real quick one. So we'll have plenty of time to move on to TheZ versus Loto afterwards. So here we go. We're just going to get right into it. Opening moves, we're going to kind of expect Falcon to jump up onto top plat, because that is where he feels most comfortable versus Fox. He can kind of avoid Fox's lasers. And you can see it already. Taimai drops down to the bottom here from side plat and begins shooting lasers just to kind of head off the idea, any idea that Duck might have that he can take the center, because Duck would love to just jump down here, run over, and just dominate the space over here, hopefully do some up smashes and take control of this platform. But Fox, luckily for him, luckily for Taimai, he can shut that down pretty easily with just a quick laser after drop down. So that's what he does. Taimai just kind of sits, or I'm sorry, Duck just kind of sits on top plat. And that's okay. That's pretty standard. This is a really, really standard interaction between Fox and Falcon, even at the high level. Falcon just wants to avoid those lasers. Fox just wants to catch him in a laser. So Duck drops down, and he gets a hold of Taimai. And now this should be a quick stock. Any win in neutral by either Falcon or Fox should ideally lead to a stock in this matchup. Makes it very, very quick, very volatile. Furthermore, you're going to see grab used a lot in this match, because Falcon starts a lot of his combos with it, and because it's just a great option for Fox in general. It's wonderful. Anything you can do to get your Falcon opponent off stage faster is really, really great. But that just doesn't happen here. You can see Duck gets a really high damage pretty quick, and Taimai is forced to resort to more conventional means of killing. Okay, so you can see here, again, Taimai took this area over here by the ledge to avoid Falcon, who can really easily just kind of drop down and zoom over. He's super fast movement speed, really something you got to watch out for as Fox. And you're going to see Taimai take the ledge here a lot when Duck has invulnerability. And when Falcon has invulnerability, Fox doesn't have a whole lot of options. He pretty much has to take the ledge. This is something that I have had a lot of trouble doing in my own games, just because I feel like taking the ledge is giving Falcon a huge advantage on stage. because getting back as Fox is not terribly easy. But Taimai makes it work. And you'll see that here. Let's keep going. Yeah, he comes back on stage. That's important to look at. He comes back on stage with 2 lasers. And that will absolutely shut down any kind of direct approach that the Falcon tries. Excellent tech chase. Excellent tech chase by Taimai with the up air. Look at that. Ready for him. Unfortunately, he drops the combo, but it was a great setup. Probably could have extended it if he really wanted to. Or rather, if he hadn't dropped it. Oh, that is an awful, awful mistake to make. Taimai wanted that up smash to connect, but it left him there on the top plat. And that is just not a place you want to be as Fox versus Falcon. It's awful, awful, awful. Luckily, Duck did not kill him for it the way he ought to have. Okay, we see the lasers on top plat. That story. Okay, all right. Check that out. Duck sits on top plat, as is normal, and he doesn't really come in. He kind of baits Taimai to come at him so that he can take control of the space a little bit better. But instead of running directly for him all the way under, as Duck probably wanted, Taimai is going to take this space, and then he's going to jump right on top plat with a laser and directly challenge Falcon. This is not something that I see a lot of Foxes do. There it is. And if he had gotten the grab off of that would have been awesome. That's another interaction that I want to highlight here. When Falcon comes down with the neutral air, he's kind of doing it. Where is it? Okay. Yeah. Falcon comes down with a neutral air here. And that neutral air has a nice little hitbox. You might be tempted to think of it as disjointed, but it's not. And up tilt, will neatly cover all the space that Falcon occupies while using neutral air. And it allows for a quick reversal. Up tilt, definitely your friend in this matchup. Excellent shine stalls. Here's those lasers again. Okay. Taimai made a huge mistake there. And instead of staying in the space that he controlled, he tried to jump on top plat. There it is. And Duck was ready for him. Duck's no slouch. He waited until Taimai took the top plat unsafely and then punished it for him. And that's a stock. Okay, back to invulnerability. Taimai takes the edge, comes back up with double laser. That's a tool that you need to have in this matchup. Duck, I think, is getting a little bit too aggressive, and that's why he gets grabbed there in that last stock. I think he was getting a little desperate. But nevertheless, Taimai closes it out, and that is just an awesome match. It really shows exactly how the game should go, more or less ideally. Okay, here we go. We want... Here we go. Boss battle. Loto versus Revan. Okay. So this is another Fox Falcon matchup. We would expect the Falcon over here to take top plat, just like before, and we'd expect Fox to just sit over here and laser. But that isn't exactly, isn't exactly what happens. Z challenges him, challenges Loto on top plat, and he should have died for it, but Loto wasn't really on his game. And so Z is able to kind of take that first stock just by tech error. And the second stock isn't a whole lot different. Oh, that is some excellent horizontal comboing by the Z. Definitely something that you need to have in your arsenal as Fox in this matchup, because when you hit Falcon, you got to get him off stage as quickly as possible, no matter where you are on stage. Defensive Shine, also amazing versus Falcon. When you're off stage, Falcon's comboing you, especially if it's sort of a non-standard combo, you got to be thinking, okay, can I Defensive Shine? Because if you get it, that could be a stock from Falcon right there, and it's definitely going to mean your escape. All right, game two, the Z does not go in this time. He's shooting a little bit more of his lasers, but he's doing it at a weird kind of medium distance, not long distance like Taimai was doing. He's going for that style, what he's known for. Okay, the Z, what he wanted there was he wanted to drop down double shine, because that is an excellent way to gimp Captain Falcon. You can see that gimp in play. You can see it in use in, one of Isaiah's Fox combos a day. I don't remember which one it is exactly, but he does demonstrate it exactly. And if you're not comfortable with doing it, then don't attempt it, because it's a little bit tough. The timing's a little weird. But that is definitely something that you should be aware of, if not be practicing. Okay, the Z did this cool thing where he jumped off stage and he came right back with back air. Very good kind of technique to be using in any matchup, really. But you do have to be careful with it, because if your opponent is above you, controlling this sort of space, that can be really dangerous. They can come down on you with a spike, not something you want. But if they're sort of occupying this space or this space around here by the edge, then it can be okay. Any farther than about here-ish, I guess, then you want to be doing lasers instead of an aerial, but, There you go. Yeah, anytime Falcon is off stage, you want to go ahead and try to hit him, especially if he's over 100. Just get out there and hit him. Hit him before his up B comes out, because he's not making it back. The Z knows that. He just screwed up his ledge guard there. Excellent shine stalls. He knows exactly what to expect from Loto. Missed shine. You really don't want to go for shines off stage versus Falcon unless you know you're going to get them. The optimal way to edgeguard is definitely with an aerial, not with shine, unless the Falcon is in hit stun. Cool reversal by the Z if Falcon is not running to the edge the same way Fox should be, then you can definitely come out real quick with a down air up smash or even just a regular up smash, nothing else, and get a kill so long as the Falcon is above, what is it, 91% on bottom plat. But due to some weird tech errors and some desire for style the Z loses that second match, you really got to be, you really have to be on point as Fox. You can't be messing any of your tech up because Fox is too fragile. That was some good platform play. He didn't close it out. There's a good tech chase. Oh, but let's look at that again. So the Z starts this horizontal combo off the tech chase. And the two lasers did not quite connect into a jab like he wanted. So that's something that you might have to practice and experiment on your own. I'm not sure what should have come after those two lasers. I feel like jab was it, but obviously it didn't connect. Maybe he was too slow. There again, okay. The Z definitely mixed things up by running to top plat as soon as Captain Falcon came off of invulnerability, or came out from the invulnerable platform. All right, let's just watch that again. This Gimp is central to this matchup. If the Falcon does not recover safely, by which I mean fading back a little bit and trying to get the sweet spot on the up B, you should be able to Gimp him. That should be the default, and it should be what he's afraid of. The Z, not afraid to just run in on Falcon, using his superior speed and handling of the game to kind of get in Loto's face. I feel like I should mention that is generally just not going to work if the Falcon is the same skill as you. Hang on, let's go back and check that out. That right there, that should have ended in a kill. It did, but the Z definitely dropped his edge guard there. Yeah, Loto is definitely acting super aggressive, especially compared to Duck in the last matchup, and he's getting punished for it pretty hard with lasers, grabs, and the Z's superior speed. Up air isn't normally what you might think of as a good move against a super heavy character like Captain Falcon, but it is just excellent. If you catch Captain Falcon, even in low percents with an up air, you can grab a commanding lead in the stock. Just control where he's going. Loto tilted. Okay, all right. That was incredibly dumb, I think, by the Z. Check this out. Loto comes down from the platform. The Z stays on side platform. Why is he doing this? Falcon controls this area, and there is nothing Fox can really do about it. You should definitely be taking the ledge there, or trying to mix up. Excellent. Shines only when Falcon is in hit stun. He gets down as soon as possible. That's good. Don't want to stay on the platforms any longer than you need to in this matchup. Dash attack is a good edge guard against Falcon, but only near the higher percents where the bounce off stage from DI isn't gonna let him get back too easily. And you have to be sure that the Falcon isn't going to come up too high, because if they do come up too high, then their up B hitbox is going to grab you right out of the dash attack. But anyway, so let's go over a little bit of what we've learned from these two matches. In the Taimai versus Duck match, we saw a very standard Fox lasering, while Falcon sits up top, and Falcon waits to jump down, kind of bait Fox, tries to get Fox up in the air and catch him unawares. And in that scenario, the perfect land on top plat with a laser is a great tool. Can really catch him off guard, but don't use it. Don't overuse it, rather. Because, as we saw, it is super punishable. We also saw in the Taimai versus Duck match that going to the ledge as Fox, while the Falcon has invulnerability, is virtually all you can do. What else did we see? We saw that from ledge, get up and double laser is an excellent, excellent tool. We saw that lasers and grabs just absolutely shut Falcon down if he is not super smart about how he plays. And that's about it from the Taimai versus Duck match. I wish we could have seen more games, but alas, the Japanese rule set doesn't allow that, or rather doesn't provide for it. We also saw up tilt used to great effect. If you can command the space underneath Falcon, which isn't too hard to do, as he just kind of gives it to you in normal, standard Fox versus Falcon play, and you can predict when he's going to come down, up tilt can really ruin his day. So definitely something to be watching for. The Z versus Loto match, little bit different as to what we'd expect from that matchup, but still a lot of fun to watch. Lots of style coming from the Z. We saw there's just no end to the different variations of combos that you can pull off as long as you have the patience to practice them. We saw that Shine can absolutely wreck Falcon off stage, but if you go for it in an unsafe way, then Falcon's going to wreck you right back. We also saw up air used as a great tool against Falcon when Falcon is not on the top plat. And we saw that despite the fact that Falcon's run speed is in fact faster than Fox, Fox can be a faster character, so to speak. He can really put the pressure on Falcon if he's not paying attention, if he's not ready for it. So anyway, that's it for the stream tonight. I regret I don't have any more planned. So I guess I'll just have to line up more next time. Anyway, if you enjoyed what you watched, what you heard, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know that too. Other than that, have a great night.